Hey fam, welcome to this episode of Tuesday Seeds. Today, Uriah Israel will be sharing some additional tips on summer gardening. So please stay tuned.
All right, Uriah Israel, Texas Small Farmers and Ranchers community-based organization. And so, like we were talking earlier about what you can do for your healthy, strong summer gardening. Some summer gardening tips. What to do to have a healthy summer garden. And these are some tips. And the first thing I'll do is say, I think I mentioned at the end of the last one. I'm just going to elaborate on that. Is that buy the right plants for the season and location in your yard or in your farm. Make sure that the plants that you are purchasing are going to survive the heat. This is severe. You're talking about 90. We talked about 90 and above. And when you get up to 105, that's a real challenge for a lot of plants. Okay, so the big thing the big thing that you can do as a gardener is to water and mulch. And I'm going to talk about mulching real quick. And definitely in the summer heat, you want to place mulch around your plants once they are established in your garden or on your land. You want to mulch, whether you're using plastic mulch for big, gigantic. Let's say if you're doing it on a commercial scale, you're probably going to use some type of plastic because that's a lot of wood chips or whatever. And but in a smaller space, for instance, I use wood shavings, I use wood chips, I use wheat straw, I use pine straw to basically give my soil a covering that will prevent the water evaporation from the soil. I need to protect it. I need to also prevent the weeds from coming up and to give it that covering so that moisture can be trapped in the soil. Okay. Now, I mentioned watering. I water early in the morning before the sun comes out. We'll come out and water. And like this about 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'm out there watering. This is probably, to me, the best time to do it. There's no challenge of heat. And this gives the opportunity for the plants to get that moisture boost and help it survive during this hot period of the year. Um, Mulching. Sometimes people mulch like one or two times a year. That's a great idea. I do that also. Okay. The third thing I'm going to mention is um, build healthy soils. Build healthy soils. Good soils mean more water holding capacity and less evaporation, right? Perennial plants are best positioned to survive extreme temperatures when their roots run deep and wide. This is super important. Now, how do you build healthy soil? You right, never heard that before. So what you want to do is you definitely want to add biodegradable matter to your soils. You want to put in composted. You want to put in compost. You also want to put in composted manures. You want to put in cocoa coir. You have some inorganic items you could also use, vermiculite and perlite that will hold moisture in your soils too. But I am really kind of into the biodegradable material. You have to mix these into your soil, and these will help your soil to sponge up the moisture that it gets during this really hot season, and therefore your plants will survive a little longer. Okay. Um, the other thing is to plant defensively. What do I mean by that? Is use the shade around your areas. Make sure that your areas that have shade, um, use the shade wisely. Even create your own shade. You can plant shrubs and bushes that will give shade to other plants. Okay, that's super important to do. And sometimes I even use shade cloth when it gets really intense to give my plants a chance to survive and thrive in this temperature. It's very important to do. Look up shade cloth. They have different types that will give different exposure to the sun, and those are some great tips right there. And with those, you know, that will give you a good chance for a good summer garden. All right, y'all.